Well, I don't know. It's just the whole gravity thing. I've been on that for such a long time, and yeah, there's no more maneuvering room. There's nothing more I can do
Yeah, we
with
need
it.
to start talking about something else quite a lot, don't we?
We're going to do
No, but it's
housekeeping at
not
the
only
beginning.
that. It's that, like, if I step back for a minute and just not get interrupted by all the personal shit, which I get a lot of. Thanks a lot for that. Uh, yeah, you guys are pretty much right. And yeah, how I visualize gravity now is, yeah, it is kind of like a hole, and it's so easy to fill that in with the system that is makes it very usable. But technically, there is nothing there really.
No way.
It,
I can't believe my ears.
it's not. It. There is no proof of any direct relations. Basically, yeah, it is a deduction. It fits so well, but yeah, there's no. It's like the sun. Like assuming that the sun, because the way it impresses you, is a physical object out there. It's kind of the same thing to me.
Yeah, Arwen,
So the
that's
thing
why
is,
I
it's
told
so
you.
usable. It's such a great tool. It's really basic and
Well,
it
it's
is functional. But yeah, it is a virtual tool.
so it's
Basically.
kind of like how the idea of God in earlier history was used to just kind of explain. I mean, yeah,
Yes.
okay.
You're just looking for the reason why down is down.
I
That's
don't
it.
want to throw it away. I really like it. That's why I'm doing it. And I've said this from the start.
Wow.
But
Twice in one.
Armin, you call your I mean you consider yourself religious. I mean, so I guess you have some idea that
I
there's an
like useful things.
okay, but no, I mean, couldn't you just accept that whatever it is, natural law, the nature of things, God, that there is an objective up and down because that's just the way it was designed. Why does you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because if there wasn't, we'd have problems.
Yeah, I mean we just
No,
we
but it's only really the whole thing. Yeah, that remains mysterious in a downline technical sense, in a scientific sense. But yeah, it is very counterintuitive for me to just leave it open like that.
you know it's
In
like
how I deal with it in my mind. And look, my mind, my imagination is almost like a holodeck, and I built shit in there, and it really works well. And it's just really difficult to approach it in this purely scientific way because it's like a prison.
yeah, maybe that's why there are some things we should just leave alone. Like, you know, do you think we're ever going to find the meaning of life or where we come from? I mean, it just seems it's.
No, but no, I don't tie that in. Just how it works.
But why not?
I just care how things work. That's it.
Oh, man.
Some things are
Good
just
luck.
laws of nature, Arwin. You know, you're never going to find the causal relationship for entropy, for example. And it just is. It's a law of nature. And
Laws
they've
of
convinced
entropy.
us that there's
Well,
a need
no,
to find
well,
a cause.
no, I disagree. I disagree. But it is very difficult
Okay.
to prove it.
Okay.
You can at least demonstrate it.
Right. Is there any way we can get through housekeeping without this becoming the entire show? Because it's like the year anniversary. I want this to be quite light-hearted. I will
Oh
do
no, it's a
housekeeping.
back conversation, right? So
And it's been very good.
don't worry about it. Have I been disruptive so
Not at
far?
all, not at all. But I just
Okay,
don't want it to
well,
descend
right.
into the anniversary show being like the 20th. Let's debate Arwin about Arwinian gravity.
Yeah, please don't.
Lol.
I always ask you, please don't. So I've been asking that for a week now.
Okie dokie. Right, 2 minutes and we're starting again. Nice to see Jaren.
Yeah, it's really a shame he dropped off. I would love to have talked to him some more.
Did
Awesome.
scientists come back?
I think it's so cool that, you know, Jose does a GoFundMe. I mentioned it on the show. Somebody's then heard that Jaren's got a camera for sale, said, I'll just pay you for it, send it to Jose. That's so cool.
So is GoFundMe's paid up now? It's done?
No. I've got 60 seconds, so I'll just explain it briefly. So he puts up the GoFundMe, and then we plugged it yesterday. Jaren was watching. One of his contributors was also watching. So the situation with his camera being available was made public. And then that contributor a new contributor got in touch with Jaren direct and said, here's what you were asking for the camera, $350. Just send it to Jose. Get his address and just send it to him. An anonymous donator.
This is no word of a lie. I'll put my camera on right now. If it'll come on. I have my wallet in my hand. I was literally about to do the GoFundMe money for him. Not all of it. I was just going to contribute to it, but I was just literally going to pay for it. But if he's got it sorted, then he doesn't even need the GoFundMe.
No.
Yeah, I think he's just continuing it and doing whatever.
Cool.
Yeah, he's just going to lower the amount to what he's raised already and then use that for a, I don't know, SD card and a tripod maybe. But isn't that cool?
It is cool. That's why I love the way I mean, just start your show, Nathan. We'll carry on in a sec.
Okay, no worries.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate 1 Year Special Edition. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal link in the info box below the video. Most importantly though, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share this 1 year special. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined by a massive panel. We've got The Plain Truth, Sleeping Warrior, Iron Realm Media, Event Horizon, Eric, Chocolate Saiyan, Warren, Arwin, and Apollo. Good to have you all.
Yo.
Hello. What?
Good afternoon.
Hello. Come back, Jaren.
There's a full panel. He couldn't get on if he wanted to. If someone does actually want to join this panel, you'll have to say in the chat if you've got something specific you want to present, and I'll try and encourage one of the other members to drop if they're willing. So yeah.
Come back, I'll drop.
No, don't
Well,
do
nobody
it.
asking
Joey's trying to not join, but he's walking his dog, and he said that once he's finished walking his dog, he'll try and get back in. I said, don't worry, I'll kick Arwin when you do.
No, guys, I've got stuff to do, so I'll sit here, Nathan, anyway, but kick me whenever. That's
okay.
Not a problem. But
cool.
Before I shoot, then, yeah, happy birthday, and here's to another year, pal. It's been great. Thanks for all your efforts, and yeah, look forward to the next.
Congratulations.
Pleasure. Well, we didn't do it on the last show because that was kind of the warm-up. These are going to be extra long shows just because it's the year anniversary. So the last one was about 1 hour and 25. I'll aim to do this one about the same, if not a bit longer. So let's kick off the show with some housekeeping. So there's quite a few panel members. Are there any signs of Earth curvature?
I'm going to stop and keep saying no for a minute then. No.
No.
Only obstruction.
Out to, is it Dabbing Good? Thank you very much for the super chat.
Could I
Really
just give
appreciate
you
it.
5 no's right now?
Yeah.
Cover all of that.
We did have a Globehead on the panel. He might rejoin, but Apollo's just dropped, so I don't think he wants to be put on the spot with the housekeeping. He might rejoin after we're done. We shall see. Okay, so that was quite a few no's. Hello, Unorthodox. Good to have you.
Great.
Can you hear us?
Howdy.
Give me a second.
This camera's on.
Well, we'll wait for Unorthodox to sort himself out. When you've sorted your mic, Jacob, just let us know. Any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety specifically?
Spinning?
Nope.
No spinning, no wobbling.
Nope.
No.
No.
Any evidence that you can have a gas pressure without a container?
Never.
Oh, no.
Ask Unorthodox that one, Nathan. I think Unorthodox should be qualified to be able to tell us their answer.
Mic's not working. He's unmuting. And we're
Oh,
not
good
hearing
lord,
anything.
guys. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
We can.
We can.
So Unorthodox,
Uh-oh.
how do we have a gas pressure exist next to a vacuum without a membrane?
Oh, my God. Yeah, I'll just say this. You know, you would think in the, how long have we had cameras for? What, 60, 70 years? You would think in that 60 or 70 years, somebody would have went to the dome. Somebody would have went to that memory.
Shout out to Joseph Saunders for the super chat. It says happy anniversary. Thank you very much, Joseph.
You would think somebody would have taken video of that core, huh? That core that we have pretty pictures
Core?
of.
How would they get to the core?
Oh, I don't know. You tell me. They got pictures of it, right?
What do you mean? You know exactly why. The longest hole is like 8 miles deep. It gets hotter as you go down.
Oh, really?
Hold on.
So
before
then
you
how
get
do
into
we
a
have
full-blown
pretty
row-
pictures of it then?
Hold on. Before you get into a
Please.
full-blown row, let's stick to the housekeeping subject, not molten iron core. We will get there, Chocolate, I
Go
promise.
through housekeeping and then let's go back to this evidence. So I mean,
Yeah, so
his
any
answer
evidence
is yes. Okay.
of gas pressure without a container. Shout out to Stephen for the super chat. Thank you very much. Unorthodox.
Not in physical reality, not in theory, not in any model. Nope.
Just be really direct though, because just so
imagine it, you can draw it,
dream it,
Photoshop it.
But can Unorthodox demonstrate it, Arwin?
Yeah.
So Unorthodox, can you
Yeah, I
demonstrate?
can demonstrate it.
Excellent.
Cool. Okay. Can't wait.
You just have to present my screen.
Yeah, go ahead. Shout out to
This feels like a
Simulation
trap.
Dweller for the super chat. 1 year, great
Okay.
entertainment and facts. Thanks all. Much obliged.
So let's be clear, Unorthodox. What you're going to be demonstrating is a gas pressure existing next to a vacuum without a container.
No.
That's what we want to
Let
see.
me make my argument. It's pretty quick, and then we'll see what you guys
I don't
say.
want an
okay?
argument. I don't want an argument. We want to This is housekeeping. It's supposed to be quick. Can you demonstrate gas pressure without a container? If you can't,
You
we'll
think
move
I have
on.
some like demonstration set up in my kitchen right now? Is that what
However
you're asking
you
me?
want. I don't care about an explanation. I don't want an argument about it. I just want you to be able to demonstrate
Okay,
it.
well you have to. Okay, it'll take about 30 seconds. You have to present my screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, you're presenting my screen. Okay, we all know planes fly at about what 45,000 feet. So the air pressure from where we're at up to about 45,000 feet is well measured. Okay, so if you look at the pressure right here at 0 feet, it's 14.7 psi. We're going to go to roughly where planes fly. We're going to scroll down, and we're going to look at 45,000. So it's 2.15, roughly maybe about 10% of what it was at ground level.
Right,
Just
imagine 30
keep going.
seconds.
Keep going up.
No.
And eventually.
So, no, I don't want a logical extrapolation. I've already said this. This doesn't demonstrate gas pressure without a container. All I see is a list of gas pressures, a long list of gas pressures, not a demonstration of gas pressure without a container, you asshole. Don't waste
I
our
told you I
time.
didn't have one set up in my kitchen right now. I told you that.
I don't care. I want a demonstration of gas pressure without a container, not a logical extraction that if we keep going, it'll just go to zero like my religious belief.
Keep
no.
going. Just keep going.
Yeah, you keep going, asshole. You keep going and demonstrate
going,
what you
buddy.
show us. Anyway,
Unorthodox.
moving on. Moving on.
Unorthodox.
That is not a demonstration of gas pressure without a container.
I
Shout out
told
to
you I
Dank
didn't have a
for the super chat.
demonstration.
Ah, God, shut up. Shout out to Dank for the super chat. Says happy anniversary. Thank you very much indeed, Dank. Much obliged. So, moving on, as we have not had a demonstration of gas pressure without a container, only a logical extraction of gas pressure. So we definitely have gas pressure. We're all in agreement on that score, Unorthodox. No worries. We know we've got gas pressure. Thank you. Any other demonstrations of gas pressure without a container?
No.
Excellent. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
No.
Good. Next question.
Any more for any more?
No, hang on. Unorthodox is on a roll.
Nope.
I don't know. I don't know a lot about how they get the distance to the sun. I don't know everything, guys.
Thank God.
Contrary to popular belief.
Yeah, definitely not a popular
does?
belief. Anyway, Any evidence that you can have a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
Well, wouldn't that be the magnetic field, right?
No, the molten iron core.
Sorry, listen to the words again. I'll say them a bit slower. Any evidence of a molten iron core at the centre.
Can you say it slower, Nathan? Slower.
At the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth. I don't need to mute him. Please don't mute people. Any evidence of that? Presupposed spherical Earth with a molten iron core at the centre of it?
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about that either.
Oh, that's a shame. Anybody else? Any more?
No, I'm just listening. It was in my school book, a nice little cartoon. I guess that's evidence.
I just like to point out that earlier, a gentleman, I don't know his name, was talking about a vacuum sucking, and everyone on this panel should probably know vacuums don't suck.
How do you know that?
So you should have corrected him.
How do you know that?
How do you know that? A vacuum is nothing.
Why
a vacuum is nothing.
Why is the machine
it sucks or not?
But why is the machine that's in my house that sucks up dirt called a vacuum cleaner?
Because it's just a misconception.
Oh, they just misused the word. Is that it?
Well, to create the vacuum, you do have to suck the. How do you create a vacuum?
Sorry, look, he's right.
Create lower pressure and the high pressure pushes.
Well done, Unorthodox. You're absolutely correct.
Lower pressure.
Yeah, the atmospheric pressure actually pushes the dirt into the vacuum cleaner. Yes, that's absolutely correct. It's not sucking. The gas pressure of the atmosphere, which we all know and love and cannot exist next to a vacuum, that gas pressure pushes the dirt into the vacuum when you create a differential. That's right. Well done. How smart of you.
Well, I'm just saying none of you guys corrected him. He's trying to make like this argument, that the atmosphere would be sucked off the Earth. I mean, it's not. A vacuum doesn't suck. A vacuum is nothing.
All right. Can you prove that there is a vacuum out in space that you think is there?
I just gave you the logical steps needed to get that.
Are you
right
serious?
Oh, can you hold on? Really? We just had some logical steps given to us for how there's a vacuum of space. I didn't catch them. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Maybe I didn't speak slow enough. Say them really slowly. The logical steps, that is.
Okay. At 45,000 feet, the air pressure is roughly 10% of what it is on our surface.
Lovely story.
So that tells you if you keep going, eventually you'll get to zero.
Eventually there's a dome?
There's a barrier.
No, I would say you would think in maybe 60, 70, 80 years, I don't know how long the video camera's been around, but a long time, you would think in all those years, somebody would have got a picture of that dome. Somebody would have got a video of that.
Sorry, hold on. What dome? What dome? We're not talking about a dome. You're saying...
What is the
talking about a container.
Rate? What is the halvation rate of the pressure?
Let's just make that clear. In order to have a gas pressure, the necessary antecedent is a container.
That's not true, Nathan.
Hold on. Your logical deduction is that you go up higher and eventually no container needed, actually vacuum of space. No, I can give you thousands of examples of gas pressure being maintained with a container. Now you give me a demonstration of gas pressure being maintained without a container.
Well, why don't you show me an example of a container that has a variable gas pressure in it? How about that?
No, the antecedent for the gas pressure in the first place is a container. So you won't have a gas... Hold on. Yeah. You won't have a gas pressure gradient without a container. So first we must establish how you have the gas pressure. The next thing you can establish, and I do have an answer. It's been given to me. Fortunately, I didn't have to go and research it. I went and verified it. But I do have an answer. Should I need to give it? First, before I give you your answer... For the gradient, we must first establish how you have the gas pressure. The gas pressure comes before the gas pressure gradient. So, given that the necessary antecedent for the gas pressure is a container, I would need to see...
Yeah, that is true.
That's a presupposition.
It's all right.
No,
we just have gas pressure. Sorry. You don't need anything else. It's just here, we're breathing it.
Sorry.
You don't need anything else.
This is the whole point of the question, Unorthodox. So can you show me that we don't need a container for gas pressure to exist? Show it me.
Can you show me that you do?
That's a question from me.
Demonstrate it.
You're asserting.
Can you
the
show me that
vacuum
you
of
do?
space. Sorry, you're asserting there is a vacuum of space. That would
That's
require,
where the evidence points, Nathan.
That's the whole point of the question.
That's where the evidence points, right? I mean, that's,
No.
Am I not correct? That's not
No.
where the evidence points?
No.
The gas pressure is
Do you want me to
10%
explain
at
why?
45,000 feet.
Do you want me to explain
That
why?
doesn't...
Do you want me to explain why? That's not
Sure,
a
go
logical.
ahead.
That's not a logical step. So, given
Why
that
isn't that a logical step?
Oh, I'm not allowed to. You're just going to rumpus the shit out of me the entire time, are you, asshole?
No, I was asking you
Shut
a
up,
question
then.
back, Nathan, so
Then
you
shut
could
up.
Finish it.
I'll explain it if you shut your stupid mouth long enough. Excellent.
Yeah.
Right. You have a situation where we do have gas pressure. We all know that you need a container to have gas pressure, and I can give you...
No, we don't, Nathan.
Sorry. Do you want to... At the end, I'll ask you to contradict with demonstrations. I can give you 1,000 demonstrations of a gas pressure being maintained with a container. Don't rumpus me.
No,
I haven't
gradient.
finished
Gas
my
pressure
point.
gradient.
See, before he opened his mouth, I knew that would be where the interruption came. So preemptively, I raised my voice to shut him up because he's so dumb he can't listen to the explanation. Why it's not a logical deduction. Logically, every time I see gas pressure, I also see the necessary antecedent, the container. So for you to say it's a logical extraction that when we go up and see a decrease in pressure, suddenly I can logically deduce that there's a vacuum there. No, if every single example of a gas pressure, regardless of whether or not it's decreasing, has a container, then I wouldn't logically deduce that there's a bloody vacuum there. That's just your religious assertion. Not a logical deduction, as there are absolutely zero examples of that.
No, not true. Like I said, show me an example of...
Don't ask me to show you an example. I can show you a bloody container, no problem. You show me a gas pressure without a container. That's what you're asserting and saying it's a logical deduction to conclude. So show me a gas pressure without a container so that I can believe your logical step based on the demonstration that backs your assertion that you can have gas pressure without a container. Don't just assert that it's a logical step. It's totally illogical, given that the necessary antecedent is a bloody container.
No, absolutely not.
A hand wave dismissal.
99.9% of the world follows my logic, not your logic. So
that's an appeal to consensus and a hand wave dismissal. No, most people believe as I do. I don't care. The necessary antecedent is a container unless you can show me otherwise, not appeal to consensus.
No, I'm appealing to logic. We're not talking about just some...
Yeah, let's say it again for the third time because dumbass doesn't seem to get it. The necessary antecedent for gas pressure is a container. Therefore, to assert that you go up and see a decrease, therefore logically there's a vacuum there, is nonsense. That's an illogical step, not a logical step. It would only be a logical step if you could demonstrate time and time again that gas pressure can be maintained without a container. You will never demonstrate this. You can't demonstrate it. You assert it because your religious belief is the Earth with a gas pressure is next to the vacuum of space. Again, your religious belief. That's not a demonstration. That's not a logical deduction. That's your religious faith in space.
You guys have no core values at all. I'm applying the exact same principle to flat Earth.
Muttering to somebody in the background.
There's air pressure. Breathe it in. You don't need...
Either your mic's knackered or you're not talking to us.
Are you taking a dump in the toilet or something?
No, I'm sorry. I got a Bluetooth headset on. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
No, I'm just applying the same logic you're applying to flat Earth, right? You can see the Earth. It's flat. It's there. You don't need anything else. I'm saying we can feel the air pressure. We can breathe it in. It's there. You don't need anything else. You don't need a container presupposition.
There's no presupposition. It's the necessary antecedent. How many sodding times have I got to say it to you, Dumbo? Are you not listening? You're just going off for a crap when I explain it to you each time. It's simple. Every single example that has gas pressure will have a container. Therefore, to logically deduce that when you go up and see a decrease, you're suddenly going to have a bloody vacuum, that's not logic, that's stupidity.
It is, though, because none of those containers have a gradient, Nathan.
Sorry, you can have a gradient. The necessary antecedent for the initial gas pressure is a container. So we haven't managed to demonstrate that you can have gas pressure without a container. You're just moving on to a red herring, something that comes after the gas pressure, a gradient. Yes, there is an explanation. No, I'm not going to give it to you because we're not taking logical steps that there's a vacuum there when every single example of pressure needs a container. That's not logic you're applying. That's religion.
No, Nathan, he is using logic. Again, he's using inductive reasoning.
Using your logic.
That's religion.
Using your logic.
Yeah, there's different kinds of logic there. Do you realize?
Using flat Earth logic.
There's a term called flat Earth logic. And how does that work?
I just gave you the example.
No. Give me the traditional definitions of logic, the different forms.
I don't know what the traditional definitions of logic are, and
maybe you should.
I don't know.
Why don't you Google inductive reasoning? Okay, let's call it reasoning.
I don't need to Google that to tell you I'm using the exact same logic you are.
What? The logic that if you always see gas pressure with a container, you can logically deduce that space is a bloody vacuum? That's not logic, that's idiocy.
It's inductive.
It's your logic, Nathan.
It's not my logic. My logic is I know that I need a container to have gas pressure. Your logic is the container's needed, but I'm going to ignore that and assert that vacuum of space is there, and that's logic. Logic? No, that's nonsense.
Logic.
Here, I guess I have. Can I share my screen? Because this is exactly what we're dealing with.
Sure, go ahead. Thanks, Arwin.
No presupposition needed. There's air, you breathe it. Okay. No container necessary.
Nobody's arguing that we have bloody air. The vacuum is the bit we have an issue with, you moron.
Well, I'm talking about the presupposition of the container is what I have a problem with.
It's not a presupposition. Listen to the words. I'll say it again. Look up the word antecedent.
It's a presupposition, Nathan.
Sorry, that's just a reassertion. What's an antecedent, unorthodox?
I don't know what an antecedent is. I guess
go and look it up, you complete retard. This isn't a bloody English lesson. Go ahead, Eric.
Well, I'm up. I don't know. Inductive reasoning. Can you see this?
Yes.
And do I need to read it, or can we just read it silently, or maybe?
Unfortunately, you put yourself on the spot. You've got to read it.
Okay, I'm not going to read the whole thing, just the beginning. Inductive reasoning, in contrast to deductive reasoning and abductive reasoning, is a method of reasoning we can call logic reasoning, okay, in which the premises are viewed as supplying some evidence for the truth of the conclusion, thus his chart with the gradient atmosphere. So do we need to look at deductive? It's the opposite.
You may as well.
Okay. I guess this is what he means by flat Earth logic. Is I guess deductive reasoning bad? Deductive reasoning, also deductive logic. Logical deduction. It's a process of reasoning from one or more statements to reach a logically certain conclusion. It goes in the same direction as that of the conditionals, links, and premises with conclusions. I'm not going to read this whole thing.
Yeah, that's fine. One of the conditions for gas pressure is the necessary antecedent, a container. It's not a presupposition that we have a container. It's thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not millions of examples of gas pressure with a container, the necessary antecedent. So it's not a logical deduction to say, I logically deduce that given that we have gas pressure, there's a bloody vacuum of space. That's not logic, that's religion. Based on your assertion that you have an outer space to begin with, even though it defies the second law of thermodynamics. Entropy.
Oh, God, please walk me through that, Nathan. Please walk me through how.
Entropy.
Just walk me through that step by step.
Hot flows to cold. It's easy. High pressure to low pressure. It's all very simple. Entropy.
That's right. The gas pressure gradient. High pressure, low pressure. Right?
Yeah. So, the low pressure would be space. The high pressure would be Earth. The high pressure would flow to the low pressure. According to you, not at all. It just stays there. It defies entropy. Good enough explanation, dickhead?
Don't things like
good enough explanation?
Isn't there like a force acting downwards?
Is that good enough
constantly?
explanation? You seem to be moving off topic.
I forget what we call
Good
it.
enough.
But like,
yeah, that
if
was.
I stand on a,
I'll reiterate it while I shut you up. That was me handing you your own arse, unorthodox. That's right. High pressure to low pressure. What do you think a vacuum is? Equal pressure? No, it's much, much lower. So entropy would dictate that it would flow into that pressure, would it not?
Yeah, if you exclude the fact that there's a downward force acting everywhere, Nathan.
Oh, what? This mystical force of gravity that Isaac Newton himself says is a load of old bollocks? That force, you mean?
That force. It's not strong enough to do
that one.
that.
That bollocks force that Isaac Newton says only idiots would believe in this nonsense. That would be you.
The thing he came up with.
Yeah, and he says only idiots would believe it. I can come up with pink unicorns and then say, what a load of old nonsense, nobody would believe in those. But because I've come up with them, does that give them validity?
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about I'm not talking about gravity. I'm just saying there's a downward force.
Is there? Oh, right. I only observe an equal and opposite reaction, neutral buoyancy, defying that completely. No downward force with neutral buoyancy.
No downward force with neutral buoyancy?
Yeah, everything's neutral.
There is, though.
Oh, right? There is. Oh, are we going to assert another religious belief?
What was it? A little pear or something you had in the multiple density liquid display? What was that? A cherry? If you take the cherry out of the liquid, it goes down, Nathan.
What a complete idiot. If you take the cherry out... Yeah, we're not taking the cherry out. We're not doing anything with it. It's just sat there with no forces acting on it. Until you come along with your big gorilla hands and pull it out. Yeah, so there's no force that makes your religious belief, not logical deduction, work. You now have a second...
So there's no force.
Shut up.
So let me ask you this.
Shut up. You now have a second religious belief to assert, that there's a force there. Just handed you your own arse again. The cherry tomato, unless Gorilla Hands comes along and pulls it out of equilibrium, isn't moving a smegging inch. So no, there is no second force. That's another religious belief that you have to introduce because the first religious belief doesn't work. That being high pressure flowing to low pressure. That doesn't work, so now you're introducing a force to Velcro the atmosphere to the earth.
No, we're talking about the cherry, Nathan.
Yeah, that cherry's not moving. There's no force.
It's not moving. So you're telling me if you place it on a scale...
Oh, we're picking it up with Gorilla Hands again. Gorilla Hands comes along to move the cherry tomato out of position. So no, Gorilla Hands, not picking it up and putting it on a scale in a completely different medium. No.
Gorilla Hands, not in a different medium.
Your Gorilla Hands are not involved with that cherry tomato at all.
Its average volumic mass increases. So the...
I want you to answer my question, okay, Nathan?
I want you to pick up that cherry tomato. I want you to move it. I want you to put it in different circumstances.
No, I don't, Nathan. I just said put it on a scale.
Yeah, move it.
Keep it in the exact
same circumstances. It's not on a scale, Gorilla Hands. Hey, listen up, Gorilla Hands. We're not moving it. We're not touching it. You are not touching that tomato, Gorilla Hands. Keep your hands off it. Just because you can introduce a force as a agent, a third party acting on it, I don't care. When it's just there without some Gorilla Hand idiot putting it on a scale, it doesn't move. There's no force
Gorilla
acting
Hand
on it.
Put it there in the first place.
Yeah, you rumpus me while I point out your nonsense. The cherry tomato doesn't move a smegging inch unless you and your Gorilla Hands move it.
I'm not talking about moving it, Nathan. I'm saying...
right. So it's going to magically teleport to these scales, is it, Bonehead? Or are you going to move it with your Gorilla Hands when you pick it up and take it out of its equilibrium? Destroying the point that I'm making. When it's in equilibrium and there isn't a gorilla-handed idiot touching it, it's not moving. It's not going anywhere. There is no force. This force you're asserting is just a band-aid for the first religious belief that failed. The one where you have gas pressure without a container. Now you're onto your second religious assertion, not logical deduction.
I don't think that's a religious belief, Nathan. I could probably go get a cherry and get a couple different liquids out of my kitchen right now and demonstrate it for you and show you that it will change. The scale will change. You want me to show you that?
Sorry.
I could probably set that up real quick.
What scale? What are you talking about? You're going to float a scale?
You were talking so much, rumpusing me so much. You don't even know what I'm talking about?
Sorry, where's the scale going to work in liquid?
At the bottom, Nathan. You set the container on top of the scale.
Yeah. So what? What does that prove? That the cherry tomato's suddenly moving?
No, that proves that the cherry tomato will add a force to the equation by
the
inserting
cherry
it.
tomato's not moving.
What I'm saying is, put it on the scale.
Yeah, the scale
first,
doesn't make the
without
tomato
cherry
move.
Tomato.
Sorry, putting it
What's
on
your
a
point?
scale.
Put the cherry tomato in there. Take your hands away and weigh it again.
So we have to have gorilla hands involved.
What is your point?
Hold on. So we have to have our gorilla hands involved again.
You have to have your gorilla hands involved first to make the damn contraption and to set the cherry in there, Nathan.
Nah, you can find things in neutral buoyancy. Just put a camera
Oh,
underwater.
give me a break,
excuse
Nathan.
me. Don't rumpus
Are you
me.
claiming
Don't
that weight
rumpus
is a
me.
force?
Hold on, Arwin. Don't need to set this up. Get an underwater camera, have a little look around, and I guarantee you will find something in neutral buoyancy. No worries.
I don't
Oh my god, that absolutely shits all over my argument that I have to use my gorilla hands. No, you can go out into the natural world with an underwater camera and observe things in neutral buoyancy. Underwater.
We talking about a fish swimming? Something
Talk about
alive
anything
that's
you
moving?
like. I
What you
guarantee
talking
you'll
about?
find one. So what I'm saying is we don't need gorilla hands and scales to do anything and observe
You
things
do
that
for that
are
example.
not moving. No force acting on them. Now, I know you want to take them out and put scales there, but I'm saying you just have a little look and you can see there's no forces. So your religious belief you need right here to make your first religious belief that failed work is, again, just another religious belief.
No, it's not, Nathan. How is it a religious belief when I can set it up in my kitchen right now and show it to you?
You can set up what?
I can set up to show you that if you something in neutral buoyancy will add a force to the equation.
Sorry, what is neutral buoyancy?
It's where the buoyant force is equal and opposite to the force of gravity, Nathan.
Oh, sorry, so nothing's moving.
So that's the Newtonian definition,
sorry,
which you guys are trying to hijack.
to
That's
this,
a Newtonian thing.
Equal and opposite.
I don't know
to
why
this,
you guys are talking about it because
equal and opposite to this force you need. So it's equal and opposite, i.e., nothing's happening, but you introduce a force that's not happening. Correct?
Nathan, he didn't give the correct definition. Then
that's the correct definition. Equal and opposite.
Ask the question again.
Or it
Nathan.
would be moving.
Ask the question
Right.
again, Nathan.
What is neutral buoyancy?
It's where the buoyant force and the gravitational force are equal and opposite.
No.
Dead wrong.
How am I wrong?
That's not the definition. Would you like me to present it, Nathan?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I want you to read this for me, orthodox, verbatim. Do you understand what verbatim means?
I'm not looking at my screen right now. You're going to have to read it, buddy.
Somebody read it for me so that it's not being read. Somebody read it. Come on.
Neutral buoyancy is a condition in which physical body's average density is equal to the density of the fluid in which it is immersed.
Does it mention the word force in there, Nathan?
No.
That's what it means.
What
does it mention?
No, it's not
G?
what it means.
Does it mention the G constant derived from gravity? The Cavendish experiment, sorry.
Would you like me to show you my definition that says that it is what I'm saying?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right? I mean, that's the official definition. That's fine, but the outcome of that is that the buoyant force and the gravitational
I'm sorry.
force.
So the outcome of the definition is this pseudo force you need to make your first religious assertion that you can have a gas pressure next to a vacuum that didn't work and failed. It's to make the second force of G, derived from Cavendish balls, come into effect. That's what that definition did it? No, it didn't do that.
You don't need that, Nathan. That's not what we're talking about.
No, I don't need it, bonehead. You need it. This is the second step in two religious beliefs that have both failed. And you're conjuring a force now.
I don't think they failed at all. Like I said, I could set it up in my kitchen right now and show you that it's true. So I wouldn't call that a religious belief.
Sorry, you can prove the force of gravity in your kitchen?
No, I can show you that if you put a cherry tomato and...
I don't care about that. We're talking about your belief in gravity, the force. You said that we can't have gas pressure in a vacuum unless you've got a force.
Nathan, I can stand on a scale right now. There's a force.
Who cares? So what? You can stand on a scale and push a spring down, relative density of you versus the air. So what? That doesn't prove, A, you can have gas pressure without a container, and B, that there's a pseudo force you claim is holding gas onto the marble of space. It's nonsense.
How come you guys haven't went to the dome, man? Wouldn't that be a cool expedition? Go up there and knock
dome?
on it.
Who
say
said
hi, God.
anything? What dome?
The dome.
What dome?
You say that for gas pressure there has to be a
Barium.
container. The dome,
Correct.
the
Barium.
container.
Yes, that's correct. That shits all over your assertion we have a logical deduction that there's a vacuum of space there. No, the logical deduction would be that there's a container.
That's not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, logical deduction. So you see thousands and thousands of examples of gas pressure being maintained with a container. Therefore, you would logically deduce that if you have a gas pressure, there's going to be a container somewhere.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh no, you would say, I've got a book that tells me Earth has a gas pressure and is in space. So I will logically deduce nonsense.
No.
Can I ask
Yeah,
a
you've
question?
got a religious belief
please,
in
Nathan?
orthodox.
Sure.
It doesn't jive
What's up,
with
Armin?
logic. It doesn't jive with science. You have no proof. You only have a religious assertion.
It doesn't
and when that fails, you go into phase 2, secondary religious assertion.
Are you joking that doesn't jive with science? Is that a joke? Please tell me that's a joke.
Please.
'Cause it was quite
So
funny.
stupid,
Excellent.
dude.
Give me your best scientific evidence for your spinning ball religion.
Oh, give me a break, Nathan.
Give me your best scientific evidence for your spinning ball
I
religion.
just give you like my best logical evidence, right?
No. You just said science doesn't jive with it. Are you joking, Nathan? And I said, give me your best scientific evidence of your spinning ball religion, and you then move immediately on to logic.
Sorry,
You can't see past 6 miles. Wow.
He dropped.
You're a moron.
Did he drop?
No, I kicked him.
Why?
'Cause terrible.
Well, you could have just. I was ready to mute him, but Nathan, I was trying to say for some reason the hurts on his. He's drowning out everybody. When you guys were talking, all you could hear was him.
Rumpusing. Yeah, that's the last refuge.
He really just said you can't see past 6 miles. That guy is so stupid, it's ridiculous.
No, he's not stupid. That's why I brought up. He threw logic. There's not one logic. I don't know why we're missing that here.
Hey, Pillbox.
What is going on, gentlemen? 365 days in the making, and here we are, still trying to prevent Globers from destroying their own lives, and you guys are failing at it. You guys can't stop this mass suicide. I'm sorry.
We're failing.
Yes,
what
yes,
did we do?
Zombies.
Love it.
This is just embarrassing, though. Really, this the hillbilly guy. I mean, the poor kid. When he comes back, and if Arwen allows him to come back, Arwen or Nathan, somebody ask him, how did he know we lived on a magical spinning globe 5 years ago before he joined the flat Earth, movement to attack it?
Well, I can just pre-estimate that it's going to be pictures from space. It's going to be NASA. It's going to be all of the heliocentric indoctrination from school. That would be his answer, surely.
And you did hit the key, calling him a hillbilly. I know it's not a nice term, but you got to think. He
That
grew
was
up.
Rasta that started it.
He grew up in the hillbilly land. He probably got abused with his religious family. Then he found science, and shit. You know what? It's another religion. It's got to be frustrating. It's got to be frustrating to think you escaped the traditional religion and you found another one, and it's still another religion. Almost have empathy for him.
Yeah, well, I do pity a lot of them.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
it's gotta be
Is that
hard.
actual proof? The Earth is a globe after all. Wow.
Are you talking about my rendering? You're watching the live stream, Arwen?
Yeah, rendering?
I mean,
Are you
absolute
saying
proof of a
that's
sphere Earth
CGI?
from space.
Whoa.
Just a screensaver. It's not real.
I beg to differ. Looks so real.
Totally killed the
Oh
conversation.
wait, by that reasoning, yeah, it looks so real. It has to be fake, basically.
You gotta love that.
Yeah.
I wish I could build a corporate empire by just making stuff so fake looking that it has to be real. You know, good on Felony Musk. Good on him. He's a good success there.
So what's the score with you, Pillbox?
I'm just watching some sort of police raid across the pond right now. Looks like there's some helicopters. Somebody probably was smoking a plant or promoting the idea that we might live on a flat plane of existence, but there's helicopters and police cars just taking it in this beautiful Saturday morning, 8:08 west of the Rockies. You are watching Flat Earth Debate with Nathan Oakley. Welcome to the end of the internet, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry that none of these people on the panel, including Riley or Nathan, have taught you anything. And thank God, because without these globetards, man, life would suck, let me tell you.
You really think we've not achieved anything?
I'm sorry, Nathan, I didn't hear that. Say that again.
Do you think we've not achieved anything?
Well, that's the thing, though, is you can't, you can only lead a horse to water. And I think everybody does their part. I think it's a good thing. I think it's entertainment, though, first. I think it's wonderful entertainment. I think what you've done best, though, than that's ever been done on this type of platform, Nathan, is the psychological experimentation to help people that are on the fence, that are on the sidelines, watching, that aren't sure, is the best work that this type of debate, quote unquote, format could do. It's a psychological extrapolation of the dumbest people in 6,000 years of human history. It's a wonderful opportunity. And hopefully people can see these psychopaths and go, oh my God, I don't want to be that Dunning-Kruger suicide artist. So on that note, yes, it can certainly help, but it's a psychological extrapolation. It really shows the thoughts, intents, needs, desires, and the hearts of modern, Western society and how destroyed they have become mentally. It's not about evidence anyway. There's never been evidence for this idea. It is a premise. It is an idea. It's a religion. Like you say, you're absolutely right. When I was brought those two words to me by Rose Patton in 2015, I didn't need evidence. I just sat down and thought about it for about 48 hours and said, shit, we're on a flat earth, and now I better be quiet about it. It has nothing to do with evidence. It has to do with what you want to believe. People are going to believe what they want, whether it's denying the Bible. If you want to deny the Bible, you'll deny it. It's the only truth. That's the reality. And if you want more information on that, please subscribe to Knowledge Scavenger. But yeah, it's everybody's going to do their part, Nathan. But the main problem you have to understand is that there's supposed to be a problem, though. We can't save the world, and without a problem, we'd be useless. If Kent Hovind tomorrow, Nathan, woke up to the flat Earth, you and I would both be out of a job. So thank God people are deceived. That gives us job security. It's a weird thing to explain and understand, but that's how life works. Without the problem, there's no solution. And frankly, the largest and dumbest people in the history of mankind are heliocentric New Agers. So God bless them.
That's harsh.
The alien worshippers, you mean? I've dealt with some.
Yeah, the alien worshippers, right? Yeah, they love this idea that one of these days they're going to go to vast distant planets so they can destroy those worlds too. Man, talk about heroes.
Let me tell you a very funny story that I heard. I haven't actually seen it in person though, but yeah, what they explained to me, I went to these places. It's like it was in my original hometown. They were like settled there.
Massive shout out to Retro Bill. Huge, massive, enormous thank you to you, Nathan Oakley. Thank you very much indeed, Retro Bill. Sorry to interrupt, Darwin.
Right. I was working on just figuring out electrical things, so I was trying to make crystal batteries. It was very interesting to do. And they were also working on that, but they were very messy and they were all over the place with their beliefs. And these guys were actually crazy enough to believe that apparently sometimes they had it was basically like a setup for a witch's pentagram stuff for a ritual, and then they would say, then we kind of like summon aliens. Right. Okay, it's like not suspicious or anything. Like, well, you're calling them aliens, but this kind of reminds me of something else. But no, they were communicating with aliens. Right. So yeah,
That's the
safe to
romantic
say I haven't
fantasy.
really dealt with them a lot after that point.
Well, that's part of the romantic fantasy. It's so beautiful that we were formed by stars exploding for billions of years, and there was other life forms that existed on these other magical planet balls, Arwen, and then we met up. It's so romantic. That's what that's to them. That's the wonderful religion. Yeah, it's disgusting. It's psychopathic.
But this is real. It's not just what we imagine them to do. I've seen that. And that was like even 10 years ago.
Yes, yeah, they're all Trekkies. They're all Trekkies pretending not to be Trekkies.
Hey, I'm still a Trekkie.
Well, they love science fiction. They're just like
not the personal problem.
Believers. And everyone just lets everyone believe whatever they like, basically. Try not to get into conflicts, which they do regularly, a lot of these people. And yeah, we see that even among the ballers. But yeah,
well, think of it this way, real quick.
Let me actually do this kind of shit, and
imagine this though, Arwen. Imagine this. It's like you're basically waking up in Green Bay, right? You live in Green Bay, and it turns out the deception is Green Bay is actually a bunch of, jackasses. They're not the best football team, and it turns out that the LA Rams are the best football team. You can't convince everybody in Green Bay where you live that the LA Rams are actually the better football team. And that's exactly what any of these psychological, mental destruction points have, been compared to. It's their livelihood. Yeah. It's their livelihood. So if they're not able to admit that they were wrong about their Green Bay Packers, do you think they're going to be able to admit they were wrong about their magical sun-worshipping Catholicism, Jesuit, death cult religion that they've based their entire lives on morally, which means they have no morals? No, it's worse. Just look how stupid sports fans are.
Big shout out to, I think it's Lamal Forever. Says life on the plane is good on the net. I think it was. Sorry, it's gone off my screen now. But thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. Hello to you, John. Good to have you.
Hello, Nathan. Happy birthday, man. And many more.
Weird being people saying happy birthday. It's not my birthday, but it's a 12-month anniversary of Flat Earth Debate. So happy birthday, Flat Earth Debates. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Same and many more. You're the tip of the sword, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm looking.
Tip of the sword. Come on, let's have an Alex Jones impression.
That was an epic MG42 pillbox rant.
Is he preaching again?
That's good by me.
Yeah, man. Sometimes it happens. Thanks, Nathan. I appreciate it. Yeah, 816 west of the Rockies, south of the 33rd parallel. You are listening to Flat Earth Debate. Welcome to the end of the internet. You are in the zombie apocalypse, ladies and gentlemen. 1 year ago, this anniversary also marks the time that we destroyed the porn bombing movement and reported them to the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. Also, October 2017. God bless us all, everyone. And I appreciate you letting me on, Nathan. It's been fun as usual. Again, #1 entertainment and underground show on this plane of existence. You guys keep up the good work.
Thank you very much. Also, a simultaneous or weird coincidence that the first ever live stream I ever did was on the exact same date, but 3 years ago. So 2015, 27th of October. Was my first ever live stream. So I've been making videos for maybe 4 months, maybe a bit longer, and then started doing live streams because I aspired to be like Patricia Steer.
See, math is reality.
But isn't that weird? 3 years exactly for live streaming, and then 2 years after doing my first live stream ever, I then did the first ever Flat Earth Debate. So it's just a weird joint happy coincidence anniversary. Hey Apollo, welcome back. Dodged housekeeping.
And here's to another year of destroying that globe.
I don't know, there's still people convinced. We've got one on the panel.
Yeah, I'm not sure about him. I think he's... You're talking about Apollo? I don't know.
Yeah, I think Apollo wants to find the evidence for it being a globe. Can't hear you, Apollo.
Sorry,
That's
I got a blue screen of death.
Oh, right, okay. Probably for the best.
No, I think Apollo he has a inquisitive mind, and he's still kind of hung up on the technology of space and exploration. You know, going to other worlds. I just think, you know, maybe they're hiding land, like a lot of flat earthers suggest.
Yeah, I agree. You spoke fondly about, or you spoke with a nice tone in your voice when you mentioned about going to Mars. Would I be right about that? You want to go off into space?
What about down below us? How deep is the Earth?
Look, let's not talk about hell again, Arwin. That conversation last night left me with nightmares.
What? Hell?
Just a joke.
No, I don't think hell is any. Well, the imagined version is not like literally in a geometrical location in relating to our position.
A different plane of existence. Hell.
Yes, I think it's another dimension. That's how I've experienced it. Thankfully, not here.
The hell of the how do you call it? The northern belief is very cold. You know, the with Thor and Loki, their hell is very cold. It's frozen over.
Hey, Apollo, what do you think of the concept that the globe is hiding land? Like the globe religion is designed to hide more land and resources.
I've heard about it, but I don't think it would be possible.
Okay, wait. So, you know the story of Columbus, right? The narrative, right? That Europeans didn't know the New World, the Americas, was there, even though there was Viking maps. Vikings were there, the Chinese were there. So, but apparently King Ferdinand and all the elite of Europe had no clue the Americas were there. No. I mean, do you really believe that the elite of Europe did not know the Americas were here?
I think the
Irish already settled in America.
Well, I mean, there's endless things, but we're told in school that Columbus. Oh, Indians! Look, Indians. Oh, that's not it.
Irish, and before that, Vikings.
The Chinese had maps of the Americas.
There was a lot of things, and from what I've understood, there were also very large, red-headed, like ginger type giants there.
But if you listen to the narrative,
it's very funny because they are, in my opinion, also related to the Irish culture.
Sorry, there hasn't been a nice gap, so I'm just going to have to interrupt you. I'm really sorry. Shout out to Legendary Super Looming Perspective. Hijacking Hyena. Just get it right. Thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. It says congratulations. Thank you very much.
Lots of super chats today.
Yeah, happy days.
Anniversary.
Yeah, happy anniversary to me.
Yeah.
Well, to everybody who attended the panel, of course. We all make this together. I mean, it would be boring if it were just you, Nathan. No offense.
No, I completely agree. If it wasn't for the people on the panel and the people watching, so they are mutually inclusive. So if you didn't have one, you wouldn't have the other. So thank you mostly to the audience, because I think if you didn't have the audience, people wouldn't want to join the panel. So it's mostly down to them, and yeah, 50% of them are globeheads. So I have to say it when some of the panel members are like, "This guy's a dick, that guy's a dick. Why don't you ban that guy?" It's like, yeah, he's spouting his rhetoric, but that's their tells. That's them displaying how they are to an audience, and long may it continue if that's how they are. But they're definitely welcome, and I'm appreciative they're here as an audience. There's 216 people who've given up their time to listen to this, and as you rightly point out, they wouldn't give up their time just to listen to me for 3 hours. That's for damn sure. Thank you very much to George Stevens for the super chat. Congratulations on the anniversary, Nathan. It was good, well, until Arwin stepped into the debate.
Oh,
oh no.
Oh no.
Ouch.
Super chats are always right, so you know, Arwine.
Yeah, super chats are as good as scientific evidence, Arwin.
Right.
Arwin is ace. Leave him alone.
Nah, but I did it because he was just stepping down a notch continually with his intelligence. So he was being really basic, really annoying and trollish, and just not really making an effort, just disrupting, and it's just a waste of energy.
Yeah, when it gets to the
it's
point
like
where
watching the Jerry Springer show, but worse.
I agree with Apollo. You get to a point where he concedes. Essentially, he's hesitant about saying, "Yeah, okay, I've got a religious belief," but at least he concedes the points that you're making, whereas unorthodox rumpuses them.
Right.
Oh, it was instrumental in the perspective debate as well. Come on.
Absolutely. You know, as much as one aspect of it was demonstrated by Zach, so Zach was really the first to get it in terms of demonstration, but Arwin could describe it conceptually, verbally, long before any of us even got anywhere close to understanding it. You know, the optical slant. Excellent. Excellent.
Arwin's brilliant. Shout out to Arwin, even though he's right there.
Yeah, damn right. Shout out to Arwin. Shut up, Anthony.
Thanks.
Shut up.
Subscribe
to my
No,
channel.
no, it's not happening. I'm going to rumpus that. Big shout out to you, Arwin.
Shout out, retractor.
Subscribe. I still want that 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
Almost
yeah,
there. Almost
subscribe to
3/4.
Arwin's channel.
What's the name of your channel, Bob? Is it just Arwin?
Sorry?
What's the name of your channel? Is it just Arwin?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
ARWIJN. And you'll see a very familiar green tree.
Yeah.
If you were looking up to it.
I'm already subscribed, man, of course. I just wondered if I missed something else out, that was all.
Somebody just said, Owen and Nathan make a good couple. You should produce a child together.
Now to 787GENX. Happy anniversary, Nathan. Excellent work. Been watching and learning since episode 1. Huge shout out to the audience, panel members, and most importantly, Arwin. There you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, Michael. Much obliged. Big shout out to you there, Arwin. And all the super chats are scientifically validated here. So there you go.
And shout out to Ranty as well. He's not here, is he?
Oh, yeah.
Big shout out to
indeed.
Ranty. I like shout outs.
Ranty, I don't know how he does it, but he continually just raises the bar of his work. It's very impressive.
So, yeah. We've done, or you've done, an awful lot. We've destroyed the perspective. I'm not even going to say what it is, but the Earth curve calculator. Destroyed that. Yeah. You've done so much over the last year. It's been brilliant.
When you say not going to say what it is, do you mean the proof of nothing
I can't
perspective
repeat.
hijacking?
I keep trying, but always get lost between the super lumen, whatever it is. And then I had a hyena in the bit as well for some reason.
Not for nothing, but because of this show, I've been able to go out and actually debate people myself. Like, I've learned a lot from the show, and I don't think I'm the only one. I know how to hold my arguments together. I know what points to use to destroy their arguments. Like, the show's fantastic for that.
Well, that mostly gets credited to John, who until now hasn't said a word. But John's patience with me asking the same question 10 or 15 times, with him giving a pretty similar variant of the same answer, so that eventually I understand it. That's mostly him. So he's drilled me in this stuff and spent a considerable amount of his time off air drilling me with it, so that I can, recognise logical fallacies, pick out flaws in scientific argumentation. That's down to John. Yes, I've promoted it on the show, and yes, it's my show, but without John in the background, I've got to be honest, I'd be having my ass handed to me on a daily basis. So, big shout out to you, John.
Shout out, not retracted.
Shout out, set in stone.
Yeah, you get a lot of grief, John. People, that little quote that you read out at the end of the logical fallacy show. Can you just pop yourself on mute, Warren? You're just causing loads of feedback. You had a blah 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 scientific method, blah 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 capitalization, blah, 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 Ipsy Dixit fallacy, blah, 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 pretend to clown Muppet.
Yeah. Yeah. The John fallacy.
But it's tantamount to a hand-wave dismissal to what would have undoubtedly been a well-formulated and cogent argument put to that person who has ultimately just gone hand-wave dismissal.
Hey, Nathan.
Yes?
It's a real shame Jeranism left, because he was talking about the video he requested from NASA and how he had to pay for it and all that kind of stuff. And I'm with a team of other people are kind of doing are kind of in the same boat, because as you know, I'm working on these NASA tapes, and since the last time we've talked to you about it, we've made a lot of progress. But there are some NASA documents that we think will tell us more about them, but we can't find them anywhere online. So we've sent a request to NASA asking if they can locate and scan these documents for us. And they've replied saying that, yeah, we do have these documents, but we don't have them scanned yet. We will be scanning them and making it available, but it could take a while. So they didn't talk about money yet, but it may take some time before they release the old documents we are looking for.
Cool. On that note, we're going to take a very short break. So I'm going to say with that, first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. And of course, a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. If you hated the show, you know exactly what to do. But if you liked it, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you've not done so already. A massive thank you to all who hit the super chat as well. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!